Chapter 2. Flow Components. To be as precise as I can, I have to begin with that there is no agreed definition of the term, nor does flow fit comfortably into the standard definition of an optimal state of consciousness. Here's why. Traditionally, researchers divide consciousness into sleep, waking, and dreaming, then further subdivide by degrees of focus and alertness. The results are a progression of attentional categories from total unresponsiveness of a vegetative coma to the hypervigilance of the fight-or-flight response. Flow states fall on this scale, but not exactly. The zone requires attention, but of a particular kind. When it comes to flow, concentration is nearly total. Laird Hamilton saw every nuance of detail of the wave's face. Yet beyond this field, his awareness dropped off precipitously, i.e., he never heard the cries of warning coming from the spectators in this channel. Hamilton was hypervigilant and totally unresponsive, and both at the same time. So, unlike most other states of consciousness, defined by a singular type of attention, flow breaks boundaries, tapping multiple categories at once. Despite the changing nature of the state, so consistent are its various features, that researcher and psychologist Csikszentmihalyi shifted through his data and isolated 10 core components that define the state. Here's the list. 1. A sense of personal control over the situation. 2. A loss of the feeling of self. 3. Distorted sense of time. 4. The activity is intrinsically rewarding. 5. Total absorption in what one does. 6. A lack of awareness of bodily needs. 7. A high degree of concentration. 8. Clear goals. We know what to do, and we know where to focus our attention while doing it. 9. Immediate feedback. Successes and failures are apparent, so behavior can be adjusted as needed in the moment. And 10. The balance between challenge and skill. The situation feels challenging, yet manageable. The first 7 elements describe the subjective experience during an activity in flow. They are the outcomes that characterize flow. They will be discussed in part 2 of the book. The last 3 components, clear goals, immediate feedback, and the balance between challenge and skill, are essential properties that could be coined as internal conditions for flow to occur. We'll discuss them in part 4 of the book. Moreover, Csikszentmihalyi uses the term microflow and macroflow to explain the variations. In macroflow, all of the 10 elements arrive at once. It's the full chopu. It's Hamilton in flow state while writing chopu, where it means find the zone or suffer the consequences. On the other hand, microflow is what occurs when only a few of these categories are fulfilled. Say, clear goals, concentration, and absorption. Or what would happen if Hamilton paddled out for an afternoon of mellow Hawaiian surf. Other researchers validated the 10 components mentioned above, and they form as close a definition of flow as anyone has yet produced. Yet if we're really hunting for a working definition of flow, the place to start may not even be with those different components, but rather with its practical value. The practical value of flow. Within Hamilton's experience of writing chopu, we already discovered 3 of these basic qualities of flow: the creative insight provided by the state, the pulling off of the difficult move that saved his life, the profound mental clarity provided by the state, note the calm, rational nature of the mental argument, and a hint of its intuitive nature, how one right decision always leads to the next right decision. Let's start with exploring them one by one. Here is Csikszentmihalyi's definition of the zone: being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. The ego falls away, time flies. Every action, movement, and thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz. What is jazz? It's an acoustic result of high-speed problem-solving, or near-perfect decision-making. And flow is a highly efficient and effective decision-making mechanism. After all, as Hamilton himself pointed out, if the angel and the devil arguing on his shoulder had reached the wrong decision, we'd still be picking pieces of him out of Chopu's reef. But how does flow enable us to make such good decisions? That's where neuroscience comes in.